with our safe, secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
fu muy fanaan ak kuy wut ku ko wétali xanaa delloo buntu gi war la naa boole yaa Fatus Guest House tijjil na leen buntu bi ñu ngi leen fa am ak ñaari cabinet salle yu yaaña
amal leen li nga xamante ne mooy cabinet ak salle ñu ngi leen amal AC ak fan
salle bi nag lépp li ngeen soxla am na fa sofa yu nooy ñoo fa nekk TV bang fa cabinet boo dugga lal yu nooy leen fa amal nañ leen fa AC ak li nga xam ne moom mooy fan toilette yu set wicc amal nañ leen fa kitchen microwave fridge and room bu baax dama ne teranga day mut moo taxit yaa Fatus Guest House amal leen extra kitchen lépp lu ngeen bëgg a togg mun ngeen ko toggee si gas cooker bii nii
kuy xalam di si jaayu nag barke bi yaay borom amal ne li nga xamante ne mooy ndox ak courant 24/7 bu leen tiit bu leen ragal bu leen xoof ndax amal ne lii di CCTV caméra
seet si leen ñu si Farafenni gannaaw garage base bi Kawur highway
very clean every day am na cleaning service ratio bi amul fenn
yaa Fatus Guest House teranga àdduna bët kon nag seet si leen ñu
Prayers.
Thank you. Almighty God, who in thy wisdom and goodness has appointed the offices of rulers and parliaments for the welfare of society and just government of men, we beseech thee to behold with thy abundant favor us thy servants whom thou hast been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this land. Let thy blessing descend upon us here in this house assembled. Grant us that we may treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner, to promote thy honor and glory, to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of this country and of those whose interests thou hast committed to our charge. Amen. Good morning, Honorable. Please be seated. Thank you. Can I have Good morning, honorable members and honorable ministers, members of the press. Honorable members, I'm sure you've all observed that we don't have a quorum at the moment, and my attention has been, yes, Joshua?
I just wanted to say we have two more National Assembly members who are here. So let's just yeah.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
Just allow me to learn. There are rules and procedures to be followed. I need to, if it has not been raised by any honorable member, I think it is my duty, if it has been brought to my attention, to indicate to the honorable members that we don't have a quorum as of now, and that is when the Speaker takes the chair. So now, going by our clause, which is 12, standing order, clause 12, talks of quorum. If at any other time the attention of the Speaker is directed to the fact that there is less than 1/4 of the members present, excluding the Speaker, he or she shall direct members to be summoned by a ringing of the division bell. If after the expiration of 2 minutes, 1/4 of the members are not present, he or she shall immediately, without question put, either suspend the sitting to a later time, excuse me, not exceeding 1 hour, or adjourn the sitting until the next day. So I just want us to use that clause for the division bell to be used so that wherever the other members are, they can come in and we continue the sitting. Excuse me, not necessarily adjourn to the next day, but for us to continue. So that is the proposal. Yes, so if suggestions from honorable members can do the counting and then. Yes, Serekunda.
Honorable Speaker, when we first said the quorum is 1/2, when we first sit, the quorum is 1/2. One half of the.
In fact, I'm being told that I think now we have a quorum. Is it? Can we just confirm? Please, it's confirmed. Can you confirm? We have the chat and it should be easy. It should be very easy for us to. Now we have a quorum. A quorum now exists. The quorum, so we can start our proceedings. But then I would want to use the relevant standing orders again to suspend for the time being number 2 on the agenda, which is the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of yesterday, Tuesday, the 30th of March, 2020. Honorable members will recall that the sitting lasted very late yesterday, and the technical team had some challenges doing the corrections and final printing, so it's just being circulated. So I think honorable members will need time to go through the records, in which case I'm proposing that we go straight to the third item, which is the questions for oral answers under Standing Order 36 and clauses 36 and 41. So clerk, can we proceed with that? Thank you.
Questions for oral answers in reference to Standing Order 36 and 41. The Honourable Minister for Lands and Regional Government.
Good. Thank you very much. Questions for which due notices were given to the Honourable Minister for Lands and Regional Government by honourable members for oral reply. Honourable member question number 225 of 2020 by the Honourable member for Ilyasa.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honourable Speaker, can the Honourable Minister for Lands and Regional Government provide this Assembly with the nature and the breakdown of spending of $250 million in the Community Development Emergency Program?
Honourable Speaker, the Department of Community Development was not coordinating any emergency program. However, National Social Safety Network, coordinated by NANA, National Nutrition Agency, and funded by the World Bank and the Government of the Gambia, is jointly implemented by the Department of Community Development and Social Welfare.
I am aware that this distribution of this emergency fund, and there are certain wards within my constituency are not affected, like Livestock, Kajang ward, and Nokunda ward, and as well as Pandar ward. Thank you.
No, I am not aware. And even if it happened, like I said, the community development was not directly responsible for the distribution of those funds.
Just confirm that that's your second supplementary. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. Do inquire, because as far as you are concerned, we are the Minister of Law Government. Whether you inquire whether they are affected or not. Do you make any inquiries? Thank you.
Yes, I can find out.
Questions? Yes, Woolly East, thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, is the government running any community emergency program under any ministry?
I think that's a bit of a difficult question. I am not responsible for the entire government. I am only responsible for my ministry. And if a question is directed to my ministry, I will be in a position to answer. But for the whole government, I don't think I'm in a position to answer for the whole government. Well, I still maintain that answer. Maybe I'm not the right minister to address that question.
Thank you. Yes, honorable members. Any further clarification? No? Okay, thank you very much then. Thank you very much. Question number, please, can we have one meeting so that we'll be able to follow the proceedings? Question number 67 of 2021 by the Honorable Member for Serekunda. 67 of 2021.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Would the Honorable Minister for Lands and Regional Government give an inventory of the land owned by Serekunda and indicate how the Alkali of Serekunda is to be assisted to ensure that the land is put into good use for the benefit of the residents who are currently deprived of all recreational facilities?
Honorable Minister, land in Serekunda, just like all other parts of the country, are owned by clans, families, and individuals. As such, there is no inventory under the ownership of Serekunda. However, compulsory acquisition and compensation can be applied in collaboration with the Alkali for public and planning purposes within Serekunda.
Two supplementaries.
Honorable Speaker, would the Honorable Minister indicate whether the alkalis in the alkali in Serekunda is not under the control of any property belonging to that clan?
It is possible, but at the moment, not to my knowledge.
Has any investigation been done after the question was put? If not, would the Honorable Minister conduct investigation in that regard?
It's just received a few days ago, but I promise that after the answers here, I will do my investigation and I will notify the Honorable Member accordingly.
Honorable Member, yes, Central Badibu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, is it the responsibility of your ministry to take inventories, or you can delegate it to the councils also to take inventories for you? If so, can you tell us the relationship between your ministry and the councils as far as inventories of lands are concerned?
I will have, according to law, I'll have to do a research on the law and then be able to tell you whether it is the mandate of the ministry or it could be delegated to the local councils.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Why can't you make a research before coming to the National Assembly so that you can inform us? Thank you.
Can you repeat your question?
I said, why can't you make a research before coming to the National Assembly so that you can inform us?
Exactly what I have said. I said I will do the research and I will inform the Assembly.
What was the response to Central Badibu's question? Yes, Woolly East, and that's the last supplementary. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, the issue is about recreational facilities also. The people are deprived of recreational facilities. Can your ministry make added effort to ensure that the people of Serakunda are provided some space so that they can have recreational facilities?
We have the request from the authority in Serakunda. We will make those such efforts.
Thank you, Honorable members. Question number 68 of 2021 by the Honorable Member for Ileasa. 68. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Lands, Rural Government and Lands, to inform the Assembly how much building permits we are paid or collected from the year 1991 to 2021, respectively? Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, the Ministry through the Department of Fiscal Planning and Housing is compiling the data required, as most of it is found in already closed files. The final compiled data will be provided through the Office of the Clerk as soon as possible.
Honorable Speaker, I'm not very much comfortable because this question has been pushed to them since Tuesday. Why can't you make that research so that you can inform the National Assembly? Because these are very important questions. They should give us on time because these questions have been given almost about 2 weeks or more. They should be prepared to inform the National Assembly because it's a very important question. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, the question that is asked came during this session. And I have just said those files are already closed. Most of them are in the archives, and we have other responsibilities that we carry on, and it will be very difficult to be able to dig out all those records within the archives. So as soon as we are through here, I promise we will do this research, and as we get the figures, I'll forward it to the clerk.
Honorable members, yes, upper, is it no, lower Badibu, yes, lower Badibu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We would like to ask the Honorable Minister, how soon would that be? We would like to know the time frame, because the statement that you have...
From 1991 to 2021 is a huge gap. I will not be able to give you precisely as to what time frame it will take us to compile the data. But we will do it, and as soon as it's possible, we will forward it to the clerk.
I think what we can do just to assist, to expedite, is to maybe assign one of the committee clerks to pursue them so that they will provide the required data as soon as possible. At least we can facilitate that. Thank you. Any more? Thank you. Yes, then we can proceed. Yes, thank you very much, Honorable. Thank you. You see, the interruptions are coming from all sides of the assembly, so you wouldn't know whether it's private conversation or some honorable members who wish to take the floor. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for the responses provided, and I hope the last question will be dealt with expeditiously. Thank you very much. You are now released. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, before he leaves.
You see, Honorable, I think we should be concentrating on the proceedings so that we don't have to go backwards and forward.
I am on the proceedings. I was just making a little bit of research regarding a question I asked since, which was due to be answered in December. I was informed by the table office that they received the answers very late, and I just want the Honorable Minister to kindly explain to us why, because this question was due since December last year, and he informed me that they were going on tour and couldn't come to answer the question, and still now the question wasn't on the order paper because they received it very late. So I just want to understand what is going on regarding these questions and why they are not answering on time.
Yeah, I don't know which question specifically you are referring to.
Honorable,
can you listen? We've received a series and series of complaints of a similar nature, and we are trying to put up mechanisms to pursue the ministries to ensure that questions are answered on time. We follow them up to the last day, and it's a challenge that we are having, but the problem is not on the National Assembly, but on the ministries. The National Assembly sends all the questions well ahead of time. So that's what I'm saying, that we're trying to put up a mechanism to ensure that questions are responded to on time. But I don't know whether the Honorable Minister is aware of this particular question, and then maybe you may be able to offer some form of explanation.
Speaker.
What's the number? What's the number question? Or can I have a copy of it?
Yeah, it's 224 2020.
Can you give it to the? Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I believe we had a series of questions. One of them is 225 of 2020, which I have just answered. It came in the same letter that with the question being asked now. They are all on the same page. It was submitted. What happens in the House here is beyond our control. It was answered, and it was answered along with question 225, which has been addressed. So I don't think it's the fault of the ministry. Whatever happens, that's beyond our control.
Can we ensure that it's there? Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. We had similar problems with Ilyasa. We had it with Serekunda and also Sabasanja. Thank you. Clerk, can we proceed, please? Thank you.
Thank you. Question for oral answers continues. The Honourable Minister for Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Questions for which due notices were given to the Honourable Minister for Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources for oral reply. Question number 60 of 2021 by the Honourable Member for Kiang West. Kiang West.
I've been authorized to read.
Kiang Central, we have to confirm the authority was given. Okay, right. Thank you. Yes, go ahead.
Honourable Speaker, can the Honourable Minister for Environment, Climate Change and Forestry tell this August Assembly the total revenue collected from all regional forests in terms of fines, filing of permits and licensing.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, though there is no time frame to the question, we use our discretion to give you the most recent. Madam Speaker, the following are the details of revenue collected from all regional forest offices in terms of fines, permits, and license. Revenue output 2020. In West Coast region, in terms of royalties collected, $945,208. Confiscation of illegal products, forest products, $465,900. Court fines from West Coast region, $26,000. Permits and license, $623,250. A total in West Coast region of $2,060,358. Lower River region, the total royalties collected, $413,850. Confiscation of illegal products from the forest, $240,200. Court fines, $16,900. Permits and license, $78,000. Total revenue collected from Lower River region, $748,950. Central River region, north. We have two regions, both north and south. Central River region, north. In terms of royalties collected, $53,505. Confiscation of illegal products from the forest, $6,500. Court fines, $114,200. Permits and license, $20,000. A total of $149,205 collected from Central River region north. Central River region south. Total royalty collected, $278,010. Confiscation of illegal products, $55,000. Court fines, $10,000. No permits or license fees were collected during this period. And a total of $343,010 were collected from Central River region south. Upper River region. Upper River region. Total royalty collected stand at $225,075. Confiscation of illegal products from the forest, $266,910. And court fines, $36,000. Permits and license, $139,500. And a total of $667,485 were collected from Upper River region. North Bank region, a total of $206,000 were collected in terms of royalty. Confiscation of illegal products from the forest, $176,968. Court fines, $119,750. Permits and license, $15,000. A total of $517,718 were collected from North Bank region. The technical unit, we have a technical unit that is also responsible for plantation. And these plantations, they have some products that they extract from the forest and sell. In terms of royalties collected, as a total of $162,741 were collected for 2020. Bigelow Forest Park, that is here. Bigelow Forest Park, in terms of tickets, because we have tourists who come and buy ticket or individual to enter the forest. In terms of those, we collected 1,672,900
$300 for the year 2020, on a total of $1,672,300. Gambia Ports Authority, in terms of royalty, $4,434,600 were collected. And that stands for the total of revenue collected in forms of royalty from the Ports Authority. And this gives a total of royalties collected in 2020, $8,391,289. Confiscation of illegal products, $1,221,478. Court fines, $322,850. And permits and license, a total of $875,750 were collected, and the total revenue for 2020 combined is $10,801,367.
Honorable Minister, before we take the supplementaries, I think this must have been a slip of the tongue. Can you read it again so that we will have the correct figure for the records? If I got you right, you read 221 as opposed to 211. That is the total confiscations.
Sorry?
Let's get it corrected.
For confiscation. The total is 1,211,478,000. Thank you.
Yes, Kiang Central, is it for Kiang West? Thank you
very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm just appealing that we have these figures written and then, if possible, circulated to the honorable members. They are very important.
Thank you. We will do that.
The response.
Honorable Speaker.
Sorry, let's.
Can I?
Is it a supplementary?
It's just an observation. I said it's an observation. Well, I think we have to adopt that practice, that whenever they come with their answers, we have them circulated, because that has not been happening. Yeah. And it's important. Their responses, we have them circulated, yes. Thank you. As a matter of practice, yes. Okay.
They do the printing. So
Yes.
that we'll save on costs from the National Assembly.
Oh.
The ministers can do that.
That's a good suggestion.
Yes.
Thank you very
Honorable
much.
Speaker, you want to shift that cost to the ministries. Okay.
But this time around, just to expedite the process, we will do it.
Okay.
But then in future, we'll make sure that the responsibility lies with the different ministries. I'm sure agriculture is hearing us and the others. Thank you. Kiang West, are we okay? Yes, thank you. Yeah. Bintang Karanlai, Fonyi, thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, you talked about the confiscated products. So when these products are confiscated, how are they sold? Do you auction them? If yes, you auction them, how do you auction them?
Thank you. This is a very important question, Honorable Speaker. In the Act, there is a provision that provides that when such products are confiscated, you don't just sell them like that. You have to obtain what we call magistrate order. But in the Act empowers either a magistrate, governor, or the RFO, the regional forest officer, to obtain this from those authorities to give you the order for you to sell this. And when this is done, now you have the authority to dispose it. Now you invite other people who are interested in getting this, and then this is paid, and then you paid it into the National Forest Fund. This is how the process goes.
Thank you. Yes, Kalinding.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, it's like people are paying more fine than paying lancing. I don't know what is the criteria used for the issuance of lancing, because looking at CRR South, the amount of money being fined by timber businessmen is very huge compared to the money that they pay for lancing.
CRR South?
Yes.
The amount they pay for court fines. Honorable member for Talining, can you repeat that again?
Going through the figure, I believe CRR South have more huge amount from confiscation
Confiscated, yeah. Than court fines.
Than court fines.
Yes.
So I don't know what are the criteria of issuance of lancing. Why they don't want to go in for lancing or.
No, this is why you see the court fines and the permit, because this you don't see permits and license. That means that they are engaged in an illegal activity. So when they are caught, you take the magistrate order against them by a court of law, or the court fines them. So this is why you see these figures high for them, because there is no permit issue.
Yes, I don't know whether the criteria that they use to issue them lancing is difficult, because they pay little amount for the lancing, but they prefer going in for this.
Honorable, please.
Yes,
you have only one supplementary question.
Madam, I was that was my
I'm coming. Can you just reframe your supplementary
Yes, I was doing
coherently so that it will be one rather than going step by step?
It's exactly what I am doing, ma. But the minister didn't get me right. That's why I was explaining.
Be coherent.
This is exactly what I did, ma.
Okay.
Look, the criteria for issuing permit is you have to go to the regional forest office to apply either to become a vendor, like wood selling vendor, or charcoal selling vendor, or any other product from the forest. That is when you go and obtain the license. But when you are found selling this without and you cannot produce this, that means that you are illegally engaged in it. So that is what brought about this.
Irkama South, your tag was on. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, do you have separated or accumulated accounts for the revenues mentioned? If so, who manages them or it respectively?
The revenue, when it is paid, we have an account at the central bank called the National Forest Fund, where the RFOs, the regional forest officers in charge of the regions, are responsible. We have revenue collectors who collect and deposit this to this particular account, and then the payment slip is deposited with the regional office and the Department of Forestry.
Yes, thank you, Senator.
So the fund is not in the hands of an individual. It goes into the National Forest Fund.
Yes, Senator Badibu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, you made mention of lancings. Now, and we all agree that our forest resources are in scarce, and we have global warming taking place. Are you still continuing giving lancings to people to deplete the forest, or what kind of lancings do you give, basically?
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I think this is a very important question. When we say our forest resource is being depleted, yes, it is true, it's being used, but we have to use it in a more responsible manner. Without a licensing system, you are opening a floodgate. So that is why the licensing is there to control the use of these resources in a more sustainable manner. So that is why the licensing is important, Honorable Member for Central Party.
Thank you, honorable members. I'm sorry, Serekunda had nominated. I had already drawn the line, exceeded our limit. Woolly East, I had Wuli East and Ilyasa. I'm sorry. You should have raised your tags earlier on.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, does the ministry engage in settling cases out of court, or are you just dependent on court judgment in terms of confiscation of wool?
Honorable Speaker, this depends on the gravity of the offense committed. If the quantity confiscated is high, you cannot settle that out of court. You have to refer that to a competent court. And in this case, we have some constraints in terms of our traditional courts, because the fines that are set are too minimal. So you can see, even if you will speak to the SAFOs in their tribunals, you will see repeated offenders, because the fines that they impose, there is a cap that they cannot exceed. So this is one thing that we are trying to address in amending the penalty clause of the Forest Act. But yes, sometimes it do happen.
Ilyasa.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And now I am asking, who are the people responsible of this, to confiscate these illegal timbers? Who are the people responsible? Because some are from Senegal.
By law, the regional forest officers and all other forest officers who are assigned to do this, they are given the power by the director to act on his behalf, and also our law enforcement agents. They are all responsible for ensuring that the forest products, illegal forest products, are impounded.
Thank you very much. Question number 61 of 2020 by the Honorable Member for Fonyi Jarol. Thank you. I hope your voice.
Honorable Speaker. Okay, good morning, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much.
No, I am just rectifying you. It's 2021, not 2020, for the records. Yes.
Question number 61 of 2021. Honorable Member for Fonyi Jarol.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Now, Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Forestry and the Environment update this August Assembly on the findings of the $417 million worth of illicit timber smuggled from the Gambia to China between the year 2017 to 2020 by Jan-NAR Procurement and Agency Services? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, for consistency purpose, I would just want to draw the attention of the desk office that the title of this ministry is Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources. It keeps changing, and for consistency purpose, I just want to draw your attention. Madam Speaker, my ministry has not received any findings of USD 417 million worth of illicit timber smuggled from the Gambia to China between the year 2017 to 2020 by Jan-NAR Procurement and Agency Services.
Okay, thank you. But now I just want to ask, are you aware of this Jan-NAR Procurement Services? Are you aware of this agency?
Yes, this agency, I have not received any formal notification that is involved in illicit timber trading between the Gambia and China. That's what I want to emphasize.
Excuse me, my question is, I'm not asking you whether you are aware of these agencies smuggling of illicit timbers, but are you aware of the existence of this agency?
Very member. You see, if you raise your tax early enough, you can go ahead.
Sometimes your questions come from their answers, so you cannot. Just to clarify, is the minister telling us that you've never heard of this $417 million illicit timber? You've never been notified about it, or it doesn't exist, or what happened, so we know?
What I'm reporting to this assembly is that we are not aware of it. We don't know about it. Thank you.
Lower Fuladu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, would it be possible to stop all the companies that are dealing and exporting timber outside the country, especially the Chinese companies, so as to protect our forests?
Of course, Honorable Speaker, perhaps the National Assembly members should be following developments within ministries. This has been done so long ago. But you see, sometimes when you are within a setup, it's difficult at certain point. But we have stopped this so long ago. Since I have invited the minister responsible for forest and sustainable development in Senegal. We have sat and discussed about the modality of how we practically stop this illegal trade. And we have come up with resolutions between the two ministries and at the level of the heads of states as well. So this has been stopped since that time in 2017, 2018.
Thank you. Foni Bintang.
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Minister, as far as you said you didn't receive anything about this issue, can you make any findings as far as you have notified now? Can you make any findings for us?
Thank you, we will do so.
Honorable Member for Birkama North.
I think I have also a related or similar supplementary question to that. The parent question required an update, and the minister did indicate that he has not received any findings or is not aware of any formal investigation. Now, what I'm interested for the minister to clarify, whether actually you were aware of such happening. If so, what is your ministry doing about that?
I think I have answered this question, that we are not aware of it. And we have measures and strategies that I have just explained. And if I want to go through all the processes that we went through with our counterparts, putting joint patrol at the borders, putting the securities, and even to the extent which I don't want to say this, but I have to say it, we have to hire some people who would be going to investigate into the ports, into loading points to see that this illegal trade does not happen. So as far as we are concerned, this is where we are.
Thank you very much. In fact, I was going to say something about that question, but I will refrain from doing so. Brikama South. End of the supplementary question.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Reached 7.
Honorable Speaker, the minister did indicate he is not even aware about this 417 million. What I want to inquire, do you have any idea whether this particular agency is involved in timber business? If so, do you have any interest in trying to investigate this particular information you are privy to?
Honorable Speaker, I think this is a repeated question. I have said we will look into it. Now that the honorable member asked if we are not notified, now you are notified. We say we will look into it. I think that is enough to respond to your answer.
Thank you. Question number 62 of 2021, Honorable Member for Central Badibu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Environment and Climate Change inform this August Assembly of his ministry's plan to regenerate the Dobo forest in Central Badibu? Dobo forest.
Honorable Speaker, thank you. Madam Speaker, the Department of Forestry has plans to regenerate the Dobo Forest Park as part of its restoration efforts in the nationally determined contribution under the Paris Agreement that we are currently reviewing. The department will receive support from the World Bank, budget support for operationalizing the nationally determined contribution to convert the Dobo Forest Park into a plantation. In addition, Honorable Speaker, the Ministry will collaborate with Mbolo Foundation to provide alternative livelihood that is creating green jobs for communities around Dobo Forest Park, such as briquette from grass for use in cooking in place of charcoal, as well as multifunctional solar-powered platform to provide renewable energy for milling machines and other services needed by the community. And this is not written, but already my ministry, together with the Ministry of Energy, we have secured funding from the NAMA facility supported by UNDP to have a solar grid located in the northern bank of the country. One, we are thinking of Dobo Forest, two, and 5.5 megawatts of watt of solar, and also in Basse, 5.5 megawatt watt of solar. So this is what my ministry has planned for Dobo Forest. Thank you.
Yes, Central Badibu.
That befitting response. But Honorable Minister, the land is seriously intruded by farmers. Are you planning to meet the stakeholders so that those who encroach upon the land to leave the land as soon as possible?
Honorable Speaker, for the interest of this Assembly, my ministry is currently engaging a consultant who would do the redemarcation, a well-known fiscal planning officer who has been in physical planning and be up to director position. His services is being engaged to reassess and look at the original map of all the 66 forest parks, including the Dobo Forest, where, if need be, we would consult the communities to bring back the forest to its original size. Thank you.
Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, the nominated member cannot say anything. It's the Philippines who destroy all our forests. They use for your own forest.
Madam Speaker,
My apologies, Ilyasa.
Madam Speaker, I just want to make an observation to tell the Honorable Minister whether, as question asked by
Point of order.
For central
Point of order.
Because the forest, Dobo is no longer existing. Then Dobo forest. But for the past almost 30 years, there's nothing like forestry, like a Dobo forest. Because it's there's nothing, it's all farmland. That stopped in far back in 1970, 75, 76, if I can remember.
No, but honorable member, sometimes...
When they sold all their lands,
please, your microphone.
has to cut down the trees and make it a farmland. That was in 1975, 76.
Sometimes we have to be very light. Thank you very much. Wooly is, you want the floor? Okay, thank you. Ilyasa, specifically.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm reminding the Minister, I think there's another forest between Kupandari and the Chairman, where it is in the consideration. There is another forest from Kupandari to Chairman, Better than Pagale, that is the condition.
Forest Park, yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, when I said 66 forest park, it includes all the forest parks that we have, including Pakala.
Exhausted. Tumana, thank you. Question number 63 of 2021, Central Badibu again.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Environment and Climate Change inform this August Assembly on the ongoing encouragement at Tambi Forest?
Tambi Wetland. Honorable Speaker, on the 22nd of February 2021, a stakeholder visit was conveyed to the site to assess the ongoing developments and their possible environmental and social ramifications. This was followed up with a meeting on Thursday, 25th of February 2021, which was led by the Honorable Minister of Lands and Regional Government and the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Environment, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Local Government, Chief Executive Officer of the BCC, were in attendance. Among the key conclusions of the cited meeting and the field visit, Honorable Speaker, was composed of myself and the Minister responsible for local government and land. But what we realized is that the developments for Jar Oil and Nassim Company, these were executive orders in 2016 for them, for BCC, to allocate them the land. What we realized is that Nassim Company is building a road network that will block the flow of water, and then the National Environment Agency has to give them a stop order. On the other side, we have the Hardim Company that is also allocated for development. But we realized that he has encroached over 15 meters from the original allocation. And this, we are working with the right authorities not to issue permit for those kind of things. Honorable Speaker, these efforts are going on, and the discussions are on.
Yes,
we understand, sorry, supplementary, I also have supplementary. We understand that these were done without following due process. One, it should have carried out degassetting, because this is part of an internationally recognized Ramsar site. This is a Ramsar site. Even where this National Assembly is located is sitting on a Ramsar site. And due
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonics Money Transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
kuy wut fu muy fanaan ak kuy wut ku ko wétali xanaa delloo buntu gi warul na boole Yaa Faatu's Guest House tijjil na leen buntu bi ñu leen fa am ak ñaari cabinet salle yu yaaña
amal leen li nga xamante ne mooy cabinet ak salle ñu ngi leen amal AC ak fan
salle bi nag lépp li ngeen soxla am na fa sofa yu nooy ñoo fa nekk TV bang fa cabinet boo dugga lal yu nooy leen fa amal nañ leen fa AC ak li nga xam ne moom mooy fan toilette yu set wicc amal nañ leen fa kitchen microwave fridge and room bu baax dama ne teranga day mut moo taxit Yaa Faatu's Guest House amal leen extra kitchen lépp lu ngeen bëgg a togg mun ngeen ko toggee si gas cooker bii nii
kuy xalam di si jaayu nag barke bi yaay borom amal ne li nga xamante ne mooy ndox ak courant 24/7 bu leen tiit bu leen ragal bu leen xof ndax amal ne lii di CCTV caméra
seet si leen ñu si Farafenni gannaaw garage yi base bi Kawur highway
very clean every day am na cleaning service ratio bi amul fenn
Yaa Faatu's Guest House teranga àdduna bët kon nag seet si leen ñu Gambian Talents Promotion, the Gambia's first non-profit online public broadcasting network and home of culture and entertainment. At GTP, we bring you the best of Gambian creativity right to your doorsteps. Sell your products and services to millions of Gambians and friends of the Gambia via our online radio, TV, and newspaper. Advertise your business and watch your clientele grow like never before. Our content from the Gambia gets the diaspora hooked up to our screen, whilst those in Gambia love what we bring for them from afar. This gives us a unique edge and separates us from the rest. If you want to be heard or seen by the world, contact GTP. We tap, nurture, and promote Gambian talents and businesses. Think promotion, think GTP. For all your event coverages, religious gathering, naming ceremonies, weddings, documentaries, music videos, TV and radio commercial, and more.
Can you find it for us?
Thank you, we will do so.
Honorable Member for Birkama North.
I think I have also a related or similar supplementary question to that. The parent question required an update, and the minister did indicate that he has not received any findings or is not aware of any formal investigation. Now, what I'm interested for the minister to clarify, whether actually you were aware of such happening. If so, what is your ministry doing about that?
I think I have answered this question, that we are not aware of it. And we have measures and strategies that I have just explained. And if I want to go through all the processes that we went through with our counterparts, putting joint patrol at the borders, putting the securities, and even to the extent which I don't want to say this, but I have to say it, we have to hire some people who would be going to investigate into the ports, into loading points, to see that this illegal trade does not happen. So as far as we are concerned, this is where we are.
Thank you very much. In fact, I was going to say something about that question, but I will refrain from doing so. Brikama South. End of the supplementary question.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Reached 7.
Honorable Speaker, the minister did indicate he is not even aware about this 417 million. But what I want to inquire, whether, do you have any idea whether this particular agency is involved in timber business? If so, do you have any interest in trying to investigate this particular information you are privy to?
Honorable Speaker, I think this is a repeated question. I have said we will look into it. Now that the honorable member asked if we are not notified, now you are notified. We say we will look into it. I think that is enough to respond to your answer.
Thank you. Question number 62 of 2021, Honorable Member for Central Badibu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Environment and Climate Change inform this August Assembly of his ministry's plan to regenerate the Dobo Forest in Central Badibu? Dobo Forest.
Honorable Speaker, thank you. Madam Speaker, the Department of Forestry has plans to regenerate the Dobo Forest Park as part of its restoration efforts in the nationally determined contribution under the Paris Agreement that we are currently reviewing. The department will receive support from the World Bank, budget support for operationalizing the nationally determined contribution to convert the Dobo Forest Park into a plantation. In addition, Honorable Speaker, the Ministry will collaborate with Mbolo Foundation to provide alternative livelihood that is creating green jobs for communities around Dobo Forest Park, such as briquette from grass for use in cooking in place of charcoal, as well as multifunctional solar-powered platform to provide renewable energy for milling machines and other services needed by the community. This is not written, but already my ministry, together with the Ministry of Energy, we have secured funding from the NAMA facility supported by UNDP to have a solar grid located in the northern bank of the country. One, we are thinking of Dobo Forest, two, and 5.5 megawatts worth of solar, and also in Basse, 5.5 megawatt worth of solar. So this is what my ministry has planned for Dobo Forest. Thank you.
Yes, Central Badibu.
That befitting response. But Honorable Minister, the land is seriously intruded by farmers. Are you planning to meet the stakeholders so that those who encroach upon the land to leave the land as soon as possible?
Honorable Speaker, for the interest of this Assembly, my ministry is currently engaging a consultant who would do the redemarcation, a well-known fiscal planning officer who has been in fiscal planning and be up to director position. His services is being engaged to reassess and look at the original map of all the 66 forest parks, including the Dobo Forest, where, if need be, we would consult the communities to bring back the forest to its original size. Thank you.
Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, the nominated member cannot say anything. It's the Philippines who destroy all our forests. They use for the old forest.
Madam Speaker,
My apologies, Ilyasa.
Madam Speaker, I just want to make an observation to tell the Honorable Minister whether, as question asked by
Point of order.
For central
Point of order.
Because the forest, Dobo is no longer existing. Then Dobo Forest. But for the past almost 30 years, there's nothing like forestry, like a Dobo Forest. Because there's nothing, it's all farmland. That's from far back in 1970, 75, 76, if I can remember.
No, but honorable member, sometimes
when they sold all their lands,
please, your
Philippines has to cut down the trees and make it a farmland. That was in 1975, 76.
Sometimes we have to be very light. Thank you very much. Wooly is, you want the floor? Okay, thank you. Ilyasa, specifically.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm reminding the Minister. I think there is another forest between Kupandari and the Chairman, where it is in the put your consideration. There is another forest from Kubanari chairman. Better than Katpaga, that is the condition.
Forest Park, yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, when I said 66 forest park, it includes all the forest parks that we have, including Pakala.
Exhausted. Tumana, thank you. Question number 63 of 2021, Central Badibu again.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Environment and Climate Change inform this August Assembly on the ongoing encouragement at Tambi Forest?
Tambi Wetland. Honorable Speaker, on the 22nd of February 2021, a stakeholder visit was conveyed to the site to assess the ongoing developments and their possible environmental and social ramifications. This was followed up with a meeting on Thursday, 25th of February 2021, which was led by the Honorable Minister of Lands and Regional Government and the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Environment, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Local Government, Chief Executive Officer of the BCC, were in attendance. Among the key conclusions of the cited meeting and the field visit, Honorable Speaker, was composed of myself and the Minister responsible for local government and land. But what we realized is that the developments for Jar Oil and Nassim Company, these were executive orders in 2016 for them, for BCC, to allocate them the land. What we realized is that Nassim Company is building a road network that will block the flow of water, and then the National Environment Agency has to give them a stop order. On the other side, we have the Hardim Company that is also allocated for development. But we realized that he has encroached over 15 meters from the original allocation. And this, we are working with the right authorities not to issue permit for those kind of things. Honorable Speaker, these efforts are going on, and the discussions are on.
Yes,
we understand, sorry, supplementary, but I also have supplementary. We understand that these were done without following due process. One, it should have carried out degassetting, because this is part of an internationally recognized Ramsar site. This is a Ramsar site. Even where this National Assembly is located is sitting on a Ramsar site, and due process was not followed in the acquisition of the land. This National Assembly is sitting where we are. The due process of degassetting this place was not done and is illegal.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Minister, for the information provided to the House. Honorable Minister, did you carry out any environmental impact assessment? If so, can you help the Assembly with those assessment reports? Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, if I want to go into the nitty-gritties of environmental impact and social impact of this, what we have conspicuously identified is that the mangroves will die. That is one potential environmental consequence. Two, it can lead to flooding in Banjul. This is one thing that we are currently working with these investors to see that there is a waterway that will allow water to flow and Banjul will not be flooded. Because if that road is allowed to continue, that means that the flow of water will go back and the natural flow of water will not be able to flow. So that way we have identified this very important impact. And we all know the importance of wetlands. Wetlands are very good carbon absorbers. They absorb carbon. Even the land itself absorbs carbon. So that helps us in our nationally determined contribution under the Paris Agreement to support. The more wetland we have, the more carbon sink we have. And the mangroves themselves, they serve as spawning places for fish. So they serve as manufacturing factory for the fish industry. So if we destroy all this, that means, I'm talking about now the social consequences, the social and economic consequences. That means that we will have scarcity of fish in our rivers and in our ocean, because they cannot lay eggs in deep water. They have to come back to the shallow water and lay their eggs. So that is why we are so protective of this place. And I don't know if the National Assembly members would take interest, because the allocation that was done by BCC should have preceded by the due process, and this was not done. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further? Yes.
Yes. Honorable Minister, will you be in position to develop a cabinet paper on this so that there can be an immediate embargo, because the construction is in high gear? You know, will you be in position to develop a cabinet paper so that you stop this act now?
Honorable Speaker, this is a multi-stakeholder issue. We will do the due consultation with our various stakeholders, ministries, and see what best we can come up with. Thank you.
Any more questions, supplementaries? No? Sarah Kunda, yes. Raise our tags early so that... Yeah.
Honorable Speaker, would the Honorable Minister indicate whether the wetland, the area mentioned, that exists, the linkage between the settlement of Banjul, the wetland and the ocean? Should there be any structures built around this area? And if that is the position, what is being done currently to ensure that such buildings will be avoided from henceforth?
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Serekunda. I think from the answers that I have given, I have said that the ones that were already given the executive order to be given land and they have already acquired building permits and all the permits to that, we just want to limit the expansion of any further development in this particular area. Because as you said, there must be a linkage where these juvenile fish will be able to travel to go into the sea. So if there are blockages, obviously they will just be trapped and most of them will die out before their maturity age. Thank you.
Yes, Bakau.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, you talked about illegality of acquiring these environmental areas. In an instant where land is being allocated illegally and building permits are being issued, as a ministry, don't you think it's your responsibility to come up with actions that will stop those illegal actions? Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I think this is the same as I have just responded to the Honorable Member for Serekunda, that this is the stance of the ministry and the stakeholders. We have to do it together. In fact, for this purpose, I would just want to inform this assembly that at the level of the cabinet, we have established a task force, a committee of ministers and their technical people representing Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Lands, Ministry of Justice, and Ministry of Trade. Because we know in land matters you have issues, you have legal issues, and you have businesses who want to acquire land through investments. So this is why all these 5 ministries are part and parcel of this cabinet committee on land matters.
Any more questions? No? Yes. Nominated Member Seka.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, you have mentioned those 5 ministries. What about Minister of Finance? Are they not key in this area?
It may, but these are the key ministries that are directly dealing with land issues. When it comes to for instance, if lands are sold, land rates and the like, that is when the Minister of Finance can be involved.
Thank you. Any further supplementary questions? Okay. Before we move on to the next question, just proposing that the response to 63 of 2021 appears to be a little bit technical. So I'm suggesting for the table office to make copies available to honorable members for better understanding. So it will be circulated. Thank you.
Yeah, it's because, Honorable Speaker, it's because of the technicality that we have a photo map, an aerial photo map of all the sites. And the question that was asked by the Honorable Minister for Central, the Honorable Member for Central Badibu is identified issues. These are all the issues that we have identified in this map. So reclamation of the wetland, impeded hydrological flow in the wetland, pollution from the dumping of waste on impeded flows, and dumping of dredging waste. So all these are issues that were identified. But as it is so technical, I don't just want to bore you with it. We can provide these maps for you to see for yourself.
That's what I was going to suggest.
Yes. Thank you.
If you can make the copies of the map available, so together with the response for better understanding and for our records as well. Okay, thank you very much. Question number 64 of 2021. Sorry, any further? Okay. 64 of 2021, Honorable Member for Tumana.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, considering the rate of bushfire in our forests, can the Honorable Minister for Environment and Climate Change inform this August Assembly the numbers of bushfires that occurred during the last 4 years?
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, the number of bushfires in the country for the past 4 years are as follows. West Coast region, in 2017, we recorded 15 fire outbreaks. In 2018, 43 fire outbreaks. In 2019, 72 fire outbreaks. And 2020, 44 fire outbreaks. Lower River region, in 2017, we recorded 18. In 2018, 8, 2019, 23, and 2024. Central River Region North, in 2017, we recorded 20, 2018, 10, 2019, 12, and 2020, 16. Central River Region South, 2017, 12, 2018, 9, 2019, 7, and 2020, 11. Upper River Region, 2017, 29, 2018, 29, 2019, 34, and 2020, 30. North Bank Region, 2017, 37, 2018, 28, 2019, 41, and 2020, 23. The technical unit at the plantation, in 2019, there was 1 fire outbreak, and in 2020, there was 1 fire outbreak. So the total fire outbreak for the 4 years. For West Coast region is 174, for Lower River region 53, for Central River region North 58, for Central River region South 39, Upper River region 122, and North Bank region 129, and technical unit 2. Thank you.
Tumana, you have any supplementary questions?
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker, once again. Honorable Minister, I think this is very serious, and I wanted to ask you, even though I might know some of the answers, but what negative impact do you think these bushfires have on us as a nation?
Thank you very much. As you said yourself, you know some of the answers. Of course, one of the impeding factors for regenerating our forest in this country is bushfire. That is one thing. Two, it also has impact on our efforts to mitigate the effects of climate change. Because all the trees that we planted and existing plants that we have, if they are burnt on annual basis, it means that we would not have trees that would regulate our microclimate. And this has a lot of implications in terms of climate variability and climate change. And this also has the consequence of impeding on the sustainable livelihood of our people. So it has so many dimensions. We can talk about this here till what time on the consequences of this, but I just want to bring out these few because it has to do with lives and livelihoods. If the forest resources are protected, it can reduce poverty by 50% in this country. Because there are people whose livelihoods are dependent on this. This is why when Honorable Member for Central Badibu talked about licensing, licensing is just to control and sustainably use and manage the forest resources. But when we realize that when the forest is open, nobody tends to care. And this concept of community forest management by the community themselves was introduced. And this has paid a lot of dividend. Just recently, 3-4 days ago, I was in Woodley, Limbambulo. And I was so happy that their forest never got fire for almost 7 to 10 years now. And this is encouraging. Encouraging because when we spoke to the women, people who were in charge of this forest, they were able to explain to us the importance of trees. So I think as National Assembly members, you should help the ministry to get this information disseminated to our people, for them to understand and know the value. Because sometimes people will do things that they will not know, they may not know the use, they may not know the value. But we are doing our outreach programs to reach out and educate in all the programs that we have, even the enterprise schemes that we have. Part of it is to sensitize the people to understand the implication of all this bushfire on our ecosystems, particularly the terrestrial ecosystem that is surrounded by the people, and people are using these resources for their daily life. So it has a lot of wide-ranging implications, Honorable Member.
Yes, Honorable, thank you for that information, and that will lead me to my second question. What are the causes of these bushfires, in your own understanding? Because I have a reason to ask this question. I will see you later.
Okay. Well, the first thing that we can deduce from the outbreaks, some of these are attitudinal. It's people's attitude towards nature. And changing attitude and behavior is one of the most difficult aspects of management. So it has to do with the attitude of people. Or in certain instances, it's people's desire for economic gain. Because some will set the fire on to get the trees, some will set the fire to get the animals, and slaughter them for their economic gain. But what you gain and what you destroy, they are incompatible. And the losses that you cause, because I did not even talk about, I talked about the human part of it. But when you burn the forest, you are burning the food for the livestock. And these livestock, they are solely dependent on these, forests and bushes to feed themselves during the dry season particularly. So there are a lot of implications. And this can have the consequence of getting the local economies, stifled. Because these people, they depend on these animals for their livelihoods. So there are a lot of implications. And I think it is high time that people realize that nature is here to support us. And when we destroy nature, we are destroying ourselves. For instance, some people do not understand the correlation between bees and our production and productivity. But bees are very important pollinating agents. When you don't have them, the probability of your yield going down is low. And there is one prolific biological scientist who wrote this and said, any day, any time bees are eradicated from the face of the earth, human beings are doomed. That means we may not be able to provide enough food for ourselves, and that can lead us to anarchy. So these are some of the issues that we are trying to inculcate in the people, but it is important to figure out that there are certain communities who have full understanding, knowledge, and skills about these resources around them. And they have a lot of information and local knowledge about it. One of our consultants I engaged him, I said, when you go down there, listen to the people. Listen to them, because they have understanding and they have knowledge that is valuable, that you can use to do whatever management you want to do with these resources. And I think it is high time that we value our local knowledge systems. We need to value our local knowledge systems. When I was coming day before yesterday, I had to call the RFO, the Regional Forest Office for West Coast, that there is fire between, I forgot this village in Fonyi. So fire is something that we need to control, but people's attitude towards it is very, very negative.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member for Birkama South.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I've already taken the list, and I will call the names.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, in your record, if you look at it, West Coast registered the highest number of fire outbreak, amounting to 174 fire outbreak within this period. And if you look at the trend in which it is going, 2017, 17 fire outbreak, the following year 43, 72, and it is increasing at an alarming rate. Do you make any studies to know exactly what is responsible for this? And again, in your response, you did emphasize some of these fire outbreak are attitudinal. Do you have any intention of coming out with any legislation that is enforceable to address that attitudinal component? Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, I would just start with what he last said. Already there is an existing legislation. But it's the same thing as somebody found guilty of a forest offense. The charges, the penalties are so minimal. We already have that. That is there. Yes. we are working on it. So in 2018, through the Dryland project supported by Global Environment Facility, personally, myself and the team, we went around the project intervention areas, sensitizing people on these particular menace of bushfire. But we also gave them firefighting equipments, bicycles, knapsack sprayers, and cutlass, rakes, just in case when they see smoke coming out. Like one lady in Limbambulun told me, he said, Honorable Minister, telling us about fire is our livelihood. Even when we are in the furrows and we see smoke coming out, it's we, the ladies, who will lead the men and tell them there is smoke coming out of there, and then we go and you know, put the fire off. So I think that sensitivity in our communities must be there for us to be able to recognize that this is a potential threat to our existence and our livelihood.
As usual, bravo to the women. Woolly East.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, as you know, bushfires are rampant because you've given us and they are very destructive to the environment and biodiversity. So would your ministry be willing to, in addition to other measures, create sufficient buffers to ensure that we engage in prevention rather than just leaving it as it is, because these figures are alarming. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member, for Woolly East. Yes, currently my ministry is working with the Gambia GIZ to see that we create biospheres. And these biospheres from Nyomi right down on the northern part, and from on the other side of the country, the southern bank, we create biospheres that will enable farmers to do farming, but at the same time will allow animals to graze, but this will be under a protected area. And when this is done, we believe people will now see the importance of creating those biospheres around their farms. And the farms and the animal tracts also is another issue that we are discussing with our sister Ministry of Agriculture to see how best we can, leave these biospheres and these animal tracts to enable these animals to walk around, and then that will also serve as a protection of the area from bushfire. But of course, right now as I am speaking to you, we have other plans at the ministry. During this last tour, when I returned on Monday, my team was informing me that they have already developed a concept on bushfire and the bushfire management. And I don't want to reveal something that we have not yet acquired, but plans are afoot to ensure that we have adequate measures in all the regions to ensure that when there is fire outbreak is adequately addressed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member for Samia, I wasn't sure whether it was you. You are okay, then I'm right.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Minister, we have seen your report. The bushfires is becoming rampant. Is your ministry not thinking of incentives for communities that have registered bushfires?
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed, we have, and we are doing it. Just recently, during the tour of His Excellency the President, we have awarded prize to certain communities in Fonyi who for 22 years, their forests have never been burnt and been not subjected to wanton destruction. We have given them some milling machines and some gadgets to support them to do more protection. Yes, we have this, and we will continue to do this. And I've asked our EBA project management to put this as part of their plan in places like Willi, where this Limbambulum forest has not been destroyed by fire for so long, and so many other. It's kind of a competition. It's kind of a competition. It's not just, we have a committee that will look at, go and assess this year and record, next year assess and record, until at such a time we are able to ascertain that this forest is immune from bushfire, and then we will be able to give that prize. Yes, we are working on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Minister, the bushfire is a problem of year in, year out. As a ministry, what plan do you have to stop bushfire in the country? And as a minister, are you aware that Badibu is becoming desert? And what plan are you going to look into that? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yes, I concur with the Honorable nominated member that bushfire is year in, year out. And as I've just explained, some of the measures and strategies that we put in place to ensure that we, even not arresting it completely, but we minimize. And these plans include one, sensitization. Two, it also includes equipping our regional offices and forest communities, forest committees, because all the forest, community forests, they have their forest committees that do capacity building. And during that process, a lot of sensitization also goes into that. And we also giving them some firefighting equipment to see that. But the bigger plan is just what I have just said. We are looking at fire management plan for all the regions and come up with strategies. Already my team has already developed some concept around that and how to equip these forest stations around, because we have built some new forest stations to support certain catchment areas, so that the seedlings will be available, but also that can serve as a central point for firefighting.
Honorable Member for Serekunda. Sorry, Kian Central, we've exceeded the limit.
Sorry, Madam Speaker, my second part of my question has not been answered by the Honorable Minister.
Yes, I accepted that Badibu is becoming a desert. Badibu is becoming a desert because of history. When groundnut production was at its peak, people believed that it's only through groundnut production that you will be able to make headway. And then, Badibunkas, as ambitious as we are, we want to cultivate more groundnut. But of course, this was aided by Tilibunkas. So, but on a more serious note, yes, research has shown, there is empirical evidence that the northern part of this country is more or less becoming desertified. And this is why you can see we have several projects that are concentrated in these areas. We have the ecosystem-based large-scale project that is on the northern part of the country. We have the seascape and the landscape management supported by Jeff that is also on CRR North. This is a $5.5 million project for 5 years. And this ecosystem large scale is a 6-year project. And that is why we are concentrating our efforts on the northern bank of the country. When we say North Bank, people think, because a journalist once asked me this question in 2018, the Honorable Minister, we have seen series of tree planting in the northern bank. Is it because you are from North Bank? I said no. It's because there is evidence showing that the northern bank of this country is desertified. So we have to refocus our efforts and our strategies to address this desertification. Thank you. But Kiang is equally becoming desert.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. It is very clear that there is a link between fire and livelihood. And it is also very clear that there is a link between fire and a bushfire. Wouldn't the Honorable Minister agree that there is need to look at the use of fire for livelihood, which may be a major cause of bushfire rather than just sheer irresponsibility? Because if people conceive the use of fire to be able to get fertilizer, to get the land fertilized, if people get used to fire in order to have firewood or to get charcoal, wouldn't the answer be to provide an alternative source of energy to those sources where you have to destroy the tree through burning to be able to get what you need for livelihood? Wouldn't there be need to look at the issue of fertilizer, etc., etc.? Shouldn't we take another paradigm shift in really addressing the problem?
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, obviously, I cannot agree more with the Honorable Member for Serakunda, but this is something that we are working on. As I have highlighted for the Dobo Forest Park, we are looking at other alternatives in place of charcoal and firewood, like briquette making from groundnut shells, and even rice husk. Rice husk is another alternative that we have learned from our sister program in Senegal. And these are all being pursued through the support of the World Bank. We have submitted all our technical reports and to the World Bank, and these three countries will come together to have this kind of alternative to domestic firewood, domestic energy use in our communities. And this we are working very hard with our counterparts in the region, Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, and now the need for Guinea-Conakry to be part of this program. So we are working hard to see that we develop some alternatives. And even that, through the National Environment Agency, the GW project, it's an EU-supported project that we are looking at alternatives, not only for firewood and charcoal, but also other resources within the environment, like brick making, red bricks and the like, so that we can have sustainable use of these resources in our environment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for those answers provided to the August Assembly. Thank you. You are now released. Clerk, can we?
Thank you. Question for oral answers continues. The Honorable Minister for Agriculture.
Thank you. Questions for which due notices were given to the Honorable Minister for Agriculture by honorable members for oral reply. Question number 232 of 2020 by the honorable member for Sanlu. Thank you. My honorable member for Sanlu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Agriculture inform this August Assembly if there are plans to renovate all seed stores in the country?
Honorable Speaker, it is my pleasure to inform this August Assembly that there are plans by Ministry to renovate seed stores under the National Seed Secretariat countrywide. An assessment had been done and looking forward to funds to start the renovation process. It is also important to note that not all the seed stores countrywide are under the National Seed Secretariat. My ministry is aware of their existence and is looking forward to develop a proposal to rehabilitate them in due course.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, could you kindly provide us with the list of seed stores that are under National Seed Secretariat?
Okay, thank you very much. We'll provide it, but at the moment I don't have the list, but we'll provide it.
Can be sent to the office of the clerk and it will be made available. Thank you. Yes, Woolley is, yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, does the seed stores under the National Seed Secretariat, are they across the country or they are just one part or the other? Does it encompass the whole country, including Woolley?
Thank you very much for that question. It's across the country because they are selected seed stores. Thank you.
Sami.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, what criteria did you use to categorize seed stores that are supposed to be under National Seed Secretary?
Thank you very much. You know, some of the seed stores were established during the colonial times. So for the recent one with National Seed Secretariat, these are seed stores established by the WA project. So it's under the National Seed Secretariat.
Thank you. Nyani.
Sorry, thank you, Madam Speaker. There is a seed store at Sukuta which has been taken by police. So is that seed store going to be withdrawn?
Thank you very much for mentioning that. I think as our stakeholders, it's our responsibility, especially an MP of that constituency, to see to it that the community have sustainability with those seed stores, because it's established by the government and it belongs to the community. So therefore, all of us should play a role so that to ensure sustainability. So I think we need to look into that. Yes.
Yes, Sarah Kunda West.
Thank you. My question is somehow similar to Same. There are seed stores that are turned police stations. Are there any plans for your ministry to regain those seed stores?
That's a vital question. As a ministry, we need to collaborate with the select committee, especially the parliamentarians, because those seed stores belong to the community, so that we will negotiate to retrieve those seed stores.
Thank you. Yes, Kantora.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for giving us answers. Yeah, my concern is, having done your assessment and you want to embark on refurbishment or renovation now, even if you look at what's happening in Kantora, whereby the mixed farming center is occupied by armed forces. Now, the question here in concern the seed store, what mechanism do you put in place now, whereby the issue of maintenance, routine maintenance, you know, so that this building can serve their purpose? What roadmap do you develop in terms of engaging the community to put it as a policy document in terms of making these facilities durable?
The mixed farming center you mentioned, as a minister, I engage the Minister of Interior so that at least we can have that mixed farming center. And as a ministry also, we are rehabilitating the mixed farming centers, because at the moment 12 mixed farming centers has been rehabilitated, and I will continue with the rehabilitation.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Question number 233 of 2020 by the Honorable Member for Banjul North. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this August Assembly was informed that the government has plans to reintroduce the Farmers' Cooperative Societies for agricultural producers. Would the Honorable Minister for Agriculture inform this August Assembly how far this has gone, and when will the cooperatives be established to ease the difficulties that the farmers go through in selling their produce?
Honorable Speaker, it is of great value to inform this August Assembly on the developments the Minister of Agriculture has registered from consultancy on the revitalization of the cooperatives to provision and approval of a cabinet paper by the ministry. FAO, in collaboration with my ministry, contributed to the provision of a well-articulated policy document entitled National Cooperative Policy for the Gambia 2021-2030. The policy is comprehensive, as it is not only limited to agricultural cooperatives, but also other types of cooperatives, such as the multipurpose, finance and credit unions, housing, transportation, consumer cooperatives, among others. Furthermore, last week, FAO donated a new pickup vehicle, 2 laptops, and a printer to my ministry towards the revitalization of cooperative and through the implementation of the cooperative policy. As we speak, there are well-seasoned veterans cooperative experts that form a task force committee set up by the ministry and the FAO involving stakeholders in the cooperative development. The task force committee has thus set plan for the launching of the cooperative policy document by December 2020, a roadmap for the cooperative revival process, cooperative revitalization 3 years action plan, proposed organogram for the Department of Cooperative Development, proposed structure and the budget for the new Department of Cooperative Development, summary of a base manpower budget, allowance and the development estimate for the new Department of Cooperative Development for the year 2021. However, the ministry is challenged with budget constraints so as to fund and facilitate the implementation of the activities to be conducted by the task force committee that is geared towards the smooth revitalization of cooperatives in the country. Efforts needed to be made sooner rather than later towards the mobilization of funds to enable the ministry to revive the cooperative sector.
Thank you. Yes, Banjul North, you have any supplementary or are you satisfied?
Well, yes, I'm partly satisfied. I just want to know whether the efforts have started to mobilize the resources to get the process going.
Thank you very much. In fact, the policy has been validated, and we are trying to mobilize resources with our partners, that's FAO.
Any further supplementary on this question? No? Okay. Thank you very much. We move on to question number 235 by the, by the Honorable Member for Upper Salem.
You skip,
Please, I'm going by my records. 235 of 2020 by the Honorable Member for Upper Salem. Please.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, would the Honorable Minister for Agriculture confirm to this August Assembly the total tonnage of groundnuts purchased by GGC from 2015 to 2019, and what exactly did they do with these purchased groundnuts?
Honorable Speaker, the National Food Security Processing and Marketing Corporation, formerly Gambia Groundnut Corporation, has been purchasing groundnuts and processing the same through decorticating and crossing into three main products: hand-picked selected, crude groundnut oil, and the groundnut cake. The table below gives the total annual purchases and the dried products from 2015 to 2019. 2015, quantity purchase, 21,738. Then the hand-picked selected one, 2,249. Crude oil, 4,247. Groundnut cake, that's groundnut cake, 6,662. Then 2016, 12,000 was purchased, 701. Then hand-picked selected, 2,216. Then crude oil, 2,106. Groundnut cake, 2,917. Then 2017, quantity purchased, 3,234. Hand-picked selected, 432. Crude oil, 580. Groundnut cake, 997. Then 2018, total purchase, 37,608. Hand-picked selected, 1,325. Crude oil, 6,012. Then groundnut cake, 10,552. Then 2019, quantity purchase, 27,187. Hand-picked selected, 5,374. Crude oil, 3,062. Groundnut cake, 5,540. It is important to note that the quantity of groundnut purchased in any 1 year is usually determined by the national production volume, and at the times unfavorable prices differentiate between the Gambia and the neighboring Senegal. The national production is in turn affected by the rainfall pattern. The hand-picked selected and the crude oil are exported to the international markets, and the groundnut cake is sold to both the local and the regional market for animal feed. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Now, by looking at what actually happened in 2019 in terms of the hand-picked and the crude oil which are exported, are there any strategies that the ministry actually have to increase the export so that it can help generate more foreign exchange for the country?
Thank you very much. As a ministry, I'm trying to liaise with my sister ministry, that's Trade Minister, so that we can also engage the Chinese so that they can be part of our groundnut production to improve groundnut production in this country. That's what is our intention. And not only that, even the marketing of groundnut, because even our neighboring country, they are using the Chinese to purchase their peanuts. So we can also go for that arrangement. That's our intention as a ministry.
Yes, thank you. And the last question would be, is the ministry on any program that would change the type of groundnut that we actually have in this country in terms of, that would give high value in terms of price and also in terms of oil production. Is there any plan, are there any plans to change the current groundnut that we have in this country?
Thank you very much. We have the National Agricultural Research Institution, and they are working very hard. At the moment, they have almost quite a number of different varieties. If I can fully remember, it's around 53 different varieties. But I will inform you, and I will give you the list of those groundnuts. They are working on it, and possible this coming rain season, they might distribute some to the farmers.
Yes, thank you, Logo Fuladu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, does your ministry has any plan to protect the groundnut industry and also to motivate the local farmers so that they will not sell their nuts to our neighboring countries? Thank you.
Thank you very much. That also depends on the price, because if you look at last year price and this year price, it's quite different. There is a lot of increment this year. So come next season also, we'll look into it. It depends on the price to convince the farmers. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, I think as far as the pricings are concerned, you need more engagement with other relevant stakeholders like finance, and trade as well. Will you mind to further engage them before the season so that, if there can be a kind of a cooperation between Gambia and China, because the Chinese people are giving money to Senegalese to come and buy our ground. So why not we engage the Chinese themselves so that our local traders can be involved in the groundnut processing, or our institute that is mandated to buy the ground?
Thank you very much. That's what is our intention. As I mentioned earlier, I'm trying to engage the trade minister, and I also include the finance minister, so that we can approach the Chinese ambassador in country to bring more Chinese to purchase our groundnuts.
Thank you, Senator Kunda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Wouldn't the Honorable Minister see the linkage between the production of groundnuts and the processing into oil? And what does she have to say regarding the benefit economically? Would it be to process the groundnuts and sell the oil, or to maintain a groundnut sector which only sell the raw groundnuts without processing? What is the policy of the government with regard to that?
To sell the raw groundnut, that means we're looking in for the foreign exchange, so that Gambia can have a lot of foreign exchange. And if we process into crude oil also, we can also provide the local market. They will also have quality oil. I think that's a very good point. I will try to consider that as a ministry, so that we can engage some private people, especially for the crude oil. Because even it is processed, it needs a lot of sensitization to create awareness, so that people can also appreciate the groundnut oil.
Thank you. Brikama South.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, in your response, you did mention that you are going to engage the Trade Minister and the Ministry of Finance to engage the Chinese to buy this groundnut from us. So I just want to know whether they are going to buy it through GGC or directly from the farmers? What strategy are you going to employ in order not to make GGC completely redundant?
The strategy we're going to employ is that we invite Chinese to work closely with GGC so that GGC will not be redundant. That's the strategy we're going to employ.
Yes, okay, it was Woolly East.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we all know that the amount of Gambian groundnut going into Senegal is being done because of the difference in price. Senegal is offering more money to our farmers than the GGC. So what effort or strategy is the ministry coming so that the competition in terms of price will be level to ensure that Gambian groundnut is bought by Gambian companies so that we maintain our economy?
The strategy we're going to use, I think I mentioned it earlier. The Senegalese are using the Chinese. They're coming through Senegal. I think we will also seize that opportunity to liaise with the Chinese to come to the Gambia so that they can work with our GGC. But I want to tell you that even if we increase our price of groundnut 100%, they will also increase it again. That's the challenge we are facing.
Thank you very much. We now move on to the next question, 236 of 2020 by the Honorable Member for Woolly East.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the two communities of Sutukowa and Fodekunda are beneficiaries of the NEMA project, which has now phased out without completion of the water system in those gardens. Can the Honorable Minister for Agriculture shed more light on the issue and how she intends to address the situation so as to ensure that production commences in the two gardens during the 2020 season? It appears overtaken. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, it is with great importance that I inform this August Assembly that the gardens in question are part of the 17 gardens contracted only for civil works, development, the chain link fence, reservoirs, toilets, and the farmhouse. Please see the list of the 17 gardens below. Names of the sites and the regions. Bani CRR North, Batijaha, CRR North, Changai, CRR North, Disadi CRR North, Wijahanga, CRR North, Jen Sanjal, North Bank Region, Kunting, CRR North, Njawara, North Bank Region, Yalal Tankonjala, North Bank Region, Boy Fulabe, CRR South, Sololo Mandinka, CRR South, Kama URR, Misira URR, Safalu, Sangule, and the Jallokunda Cluster URR, Sutukoba URR, Suduwol URR, Fodekunda URR. The water supply system were not part of the contracted works for these gardens. The reason for this being that at the time of planning this work, NEMA's funds were found to be insufficient due to some unforeseen foreign exchange losses of about 2 million. It was further considered that the time remaining to the project completion date, 31st December 2019, was insufficient to fully complete the civil works and the installation of water supply and the distribution system across all 17 schemes. They plan a way forward to complete the gardens and render them operational was that the NEMA project completion report mission will visit these gardens to assess the completion of contracted works and make recommendations for the upcoming routes project to provide the water supply and distribution networks. As part of the new project, investment will upscale NEMA achievements. The project completion report mission has indeed visited some of these gardens, and such recommendations will be made in NEMA report as part of the agreed action for inclusion in the routes project. Thank you for your concern, but be assured that all these gardens will be completed as part of routes first year implementation.
Let me ask, Woolley is first.
Yes.
You don't have any supplementary?
Yes. What is not clear to me, Honorable Speaker, is it that all the 17 gardens are affected, or is only Woolley East and Woolley West that is affected? That the water system is not complete.
Okay, why I mentioned the 17 garden schemes, all these 17 garden schemes were affected, and it will be completed by the routes project.
Okay, I'm fine.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think the Minister has touched an area in Kantura that I have a great concern at the Sudwall. However, I want to know from the Minister, when does he plan a specific time frame to commence the route project, having gone through assessment and identify those affected areas? When specifically does he want to really roll out that route project? Thank you.
Thank you very much. It will be started this year because the project has already been established. National launching has been done, regional launching has been done, and the work plan has been sent to IFAD for approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Central Badibu.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, the said gardens that the member of Woodley is talking about, we went there, and I believe that was a project. Now, what happened to the project until we reach up to this level? I said, what led to the stoppage of the work at the site?
Because of the foreign exchange rate, there were differences up to 2 million. So that affect the completion. But nonetheless, because of NEMA performances, they were able to have routes project. So routes project will complete the remaining 17 garden schemes. Yes, because we cannot return the money to IFAD. That's why we started the 17 garden schemes. Previously, it was only 33 garden schemes, but we did extra 17 garden schemes so that we will not return the balance of money to IFAD.
Yes, any further supplementary questions, honorable members? Thank you. Can we then move over to question number 234 of 2020 by the honorable member for Jimara? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Agriculture inform this August Assembly whether his ministry has any plan to construct cattle drinking point within Jimara constituency, as Jimara has the highest number of cattle?
Honorable Speaker, I am honored to inform this August Assembly that there are plans for livestock drinking facilities to be constructed by the Ministry of Agriculture in the Jimara constituency. Within the framework of the small ruminant production enhancement project, Sarenjobu cluster has been identified for the construction of a livestock drinking facility. Solar-powered borehole with overhead tank and tront. This will serve both the cattle and the small ruminants in the cluster of the villages. Consultants have already been contracted by the small ruminant project for the design and the supervision of the work. it is worth noting that there is also an existing livestock drinking facility in Imara constructed by Basse Area Council located in a village called Sifla Suna. It is also important to note that as part of the National Livestock Census 2016, Gimara's cattle population stands at 8,949, to be compared with other constituencies cattle production in URR. Basse, 6,354, Tumanna, 10,611, Kantora, 9,126, Wuli West, 11,253, Wuli East, 12,641, Sandu, 16,649. Other plans by the Minister of Agriculture are to ensure that clean drinking water is accessible to all cattle across the country, especially in URR and the CRR, where animals are more concentrated.
Thank you very much. Woolly is very soon. All of us will be moving over to Woolly is very soon. Especially with Ramadan approaching. Jimara, let's allow.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for coming up with this number of cattle we have in URR. But then I just want to confirm, how soon will this project start in Sarem Jobo?
In fact, it will start this year because all the recruitment and the site identification is completed. It will start this year.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, what is the criteria used and mode of distribution of cattle drinking points across the country?
Thank you very much. In fact, even mentioning the the animal populations around the regions, that's one of the criteria. Because you cannot compare West Coast region to URR, neither CRR. So it's one of the criteria. But I can also provide the selection criteria they used. Thank you.
Tumana?
Yes, it's just that I'm jealous. I just wanted to know whether if there is any cattle drinking point identified to be more specific in Tumana constituency.
At the moment, I can't give you that answer, but I will provide them. I will provide the comprehensive list of drinking points.
Any more honorable members? Yes, Birkama North and then Ilyasa.
Honorable Minister, does the ministry have any plan to transform the traditional pastoralism to smallholder ranching system in order to address these pasture and water management problems? No?
Thank you very much for that question. In fact, with this project, we are even targeting some commercial farmers. Because the question you asked, we need private sector intervention to promote small ruminant production in this country. And I want to inform you that some of these young people, especially boys, they are ready to invest on small ruminant production and even cattle, especially even West Coast region. Some of them have started. So to answer your question, we need a lot of private sector involvement in cattle production, especially livestock production.
Thank you. Ilyasa.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm just asking the minister whether you can put last consequences on the consideration, because there's nothing cattle drinking point last consequence. Please.
Okay, it will be considered because North Bank also is important, and I know they have a number of cattle. Yeah, it will be considered.
What's his name again? Sammy? No? I do. Okay, thank you. Question number 237 of 2020 by the Honorable Member for Lower Badibu. 237, you see?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to withdraw the question.
Just a second, let me make sure that I have exhausted. Sorry, please order. Thank you very much. Okay. Question number 55 of 2021 by the Honorable Member for Lower Fuladu West.
Thank you very
55.
much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Agriculture inform this August Assembly whether the 50 tractors recommended by the Select Committee on Agriculture have already been purchased by the Ministry? And if so, what would be the mode of distribution to the farmers? Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, the Ministry in the past has distributed a lot of heavy equipment to the farmer groups and individual farmers. But generally, due to poor maintenance culture and lack of expert knowledge, such machineries generally have a curtailed lifespan. This time around, for the purpose of sustainability and efficient use of the equipment, the Ministry decided to outsource the management of the tractors through PPP to a private firm with appropriate experts and conditions so that farmers can access plowing and other services reasonably and timely. Any revenue derived from the arrangement would be plowed back to ensure expansion and the sustainability of the scheme.
You have the floor, Lower Fuladu.
Thank you. Does your ministry has any mechanism in place in terms of accountability purposes attached to the collection of revenue generated from plowing and other services? If so, can the amount generated be reported to this August Assembly in a quarterly basis so that we can know exactly what the tractors have generated?
These tractors will be a private-led investment because the Ministry has advertised these 50 tractors so that at least we can have a private sector who will manage the 50 tractors. But during the advertisement, it's only 2 private sector who applied. And luckily, only 1 was succeeded. That's the Marwa farm. So at the moment, an account is opened. Any plowing done, the money goes to the account. So the collection is, farmers are paying direct to the bank account so that at least there will be sustainability and the transparency. We are not involving any person to collect money from the tractor drivers, neither from the farmers. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister, can we have the amount deposited in the account quarterly so that we can know exactly the money generated?
Okay, it is noted. You will be provided with the amount.
Thank you very much. Central Badibu.
Thank you. In your response, you made mention of spare parts, which are usually challenges. Do you have any plan to ensure that you have the required skills who will be maintaining these tractors in case they have breakdowns?
Thank you. The private sector is leading the implementation, but as a ministry, we have an engineering unit who are the experts to maintain these tractors. So the Marwo Farm is working closely with the ministry, especially the engineering unit.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, I just want to know the private sector involvement in the management of this tractor. Would that not compromise the price charged to by the companies to the farmers? Thank you.
In fact, I'm glad to inform you that even this year, because previously a plot they might charge up to $1,500 or $2,000, but at the moment for ordinary plowing, the private sector is charging $1,000 using the ordinary plow. But if they are using the rotavator, whereby the tractor will plow and it will puddle and also level, we are charging $2,500. Why? Because the amount of fuel the rotavator use is very heavy than the ordinary plow. Thank you.
Lower Nyomi. Sorry, upper.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, if I could hear the Honourable Minister very well. Yeah, the Honourable Member asked for the 50 tractors recommended by the Senate Committee of Agriculture have already been purchased. If so, he was asking whether these tractors have already been purchased. And in your answer, did you mention that yes or no?
Thank you very much. The tractors are purchased, but I want to remind you also, it's through the Japanese support. Yeah, it's not from the 100 million. It's from the Japanese support. Maybe he has missed the questions. Yes.
Thank you. Sabah Sanyal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Looking at the question, the Honorable Minister said it has been privatized. My question is, plowing is very important at the early part of the rains. Now, is there any assurance that farmers will access this plowing service when rains come, wherever they are in the country?
Thank you very much. I want to assure you that the private sector will distribute these tractors countrywide before the rainy season. And during the rainy season, farmers will have easy access to plow.
Thank you. Busumbala.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much. I first of all want to thank the Minister for the modalities put in place to ensure accountability in the process of paying, that no cash is allowed to be paid to a tractor driver or you go to a bank. Now, when we talk about farming, all our mind goes to the upcountry. We know that access to bank in these areas sometimes is difficulty. Do you have any plan, in collaboration with the private sector that you mentioned, to have bank accessible to the farmers right up in the upcountry who wants to pay their money to have access to the tractors? Thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. In fact, the private sector is working closely with Supersonics and even the Ministry of Agriculture. And I want to inform this August gathering that even the farmers in CRR North and South who don't have cash to pay for this plowing, we did some negotiation with Trade Ministry. They are providing cash through Supersonics so that farmers can have access to plowing on loan, then after harvest they pay back. In fact, this year, if you go to Jahali Pachar and CRR North, almost 70 to 80% of the field is plowed. That's why even last week I was out throughout.
Thank you very much. Question number 56 of 2021 by the Honorable Member for Sami.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Agriculture inform this August Assembly the level of implementation of the small ruminant projects?
Honorable Speaker, it is with pleasure to inform this August Assembly that the implementation of small ruminant project is in high gears. 15 veterinary outlets, 10 small ruminant markets in the training center at Yoruberikunda, and rehabilitation of the livestock laboratory at Abuko. Madam Speaker, 5 microfinance institutions have bidded to be one of the two MFIs to be selected to implement the Islamic microfinance component. This follows advertisement in local newspapers and shortlisting renowned Islamic scholars in the presence of the Minister of Agriculture Contract Committee had conducted evaluation. Their recommendation had been transmitted to Islamic Development Bank. We are awaiting no objection to begin drafting the contract between the two would-be MFIs for the credit facility.
Ami, you have any supplementary questions? No? Okay. Honorable members, any supplementary? Yes, nominated member, please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Ma. Honorable Minister, telling us that this is in high gear, that is the small ruminants. Does that indicate that this Tabaski coming, God willing, nothing will happen? We will have it in a very cheap and affordable way. I want to assure you that there will be enough animals. Even last year with the peak period of COVID, we were able to have enough animals. And that this year also we'll have enough with this small ruminant project.
Yes, Fonyi, Caroline.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I think you mentioned about 2 MFS institutions. Can you tell us which are the 2 MFS institutions you identify?
Okay, I will provide you a detailed report of that institutions, the microfinance institutions.
Thank you. Sabasajal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The Honorable Minister is saying there will be enough animals to come to the Tabaski. How about the prices? Will the prices be reasonable enough for the most vulnerable?
Last year it was fair enough, and this year with this small ruminant project, I think so it should be fair enough.
Central Badibu.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, the small ruminant project, the updates that we got from you kick off. Basically, the animals that they purchase, is it from our indigenous breeds or from other countries?
Thank you very much. It's going to be both because what we have here will not be enough, so we have to get some outside.
Yes, any more questions, honorable members? Yes, Sabiji Latrikunda.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, do you also have a plan, like if you talk about this small ruminant project, to consider the area like the Greater Banjul area? Are we part of your plans in this small ruminant project?
Thank you very much. If you talk about Greater Banjul area, I think they are the end users. So maybe some of the projects we might consider them is the value addition, whereby they can add value, maybe the marketing outlets.
Thank you, Kantora.
Yes. Thank you very much. Probably I would want to request for the Honourable Minister to give us statistics of the ruminant projects of last year and of this year for us to compare and contrast the level of development in writing, if possible.
Thank you very much. We have the report. I will share the report with you.
Question number 57 of 2021 by the Honourable Member for Kumbo East constituency.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, can the Honourable Minister for Agriculture tell this August Assembly the delay in rehabilitation work on the road between Pirang and Faraba Bantan since its approval last year? Thank you.
Honourable Speaker, I am delighted to inform this August Assembly that this access road linking Pirang to Faraba is 2.1 kilometers. It is funded under the Resilience Project funded by the Islamic Development Bank under my ministry. This access road is progressing satisfactorily, and the contract has been promised to my ministry to complete the work before the commencement of the rains. The major constraint causing the delay or hindering completion is mainly the delay in payments from the Islamic Development Bank to the contractors.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Apparently, this road project has the positive impacts on the life and livelihood of the people within that catchment area. How soon would this be justifiable? Thank you.
I want to promise you that before the rainy season, before this coming rainy season, it will be completed. Because these past 2 weeks, if you are following me, I was following the contractors who are working with our agricultural projects so that these projects can be accomplished as soon as possible.
Combo East. We are fine. Okay, thank you. Honourable Member for Kantora.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Give me the floor. The Minister did indicate in our response that there is a delay in disbursement of funds from the development agencies. Do you have any alternatives in case if there's a default in payment? You will ensure as a ministry to complete that. Do you have any other source of funding as well? In sort, thank you.
At the moment, I want to even inform you that the person constructing those roads, the contractor, they already have their money. Since I went on tour for almost 2 weeks, I learned that it's funding problem. The issue has been addressed. And inshallah, I don't think it will be repeated because I asked my people to be informing me any obstacle they have in the implementation of these projects. Yeah, because I seized that opportunity to write directly.
Mbala.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. And thank you, Honourable Minister. I want to ask whether your ministry, as Minister of Agriculture, but you have a project in making roads. Quality of roads is important. Whether your ministry have any collaboration with road authority to ensure the lasting, the durability of these roads in terms of their quality, because we have seen some roads that have been done by your project under your ministry, they last within months and then become problems again. Do you have that collaboration, or do you have an office in your ministry to ensure quality of roads? Thank you.
Thank you for that question. At the moment, we are collaborating with National Road Authority. We are working closely with them. So they will be supervising our works. Thank you.
Fonyi Councillor.
Honourable Speaker, I will choose to withdraw because my concerns were addressed by both Kantora and Busumbala.
Sir?
Thank you very much, Honourable Madam Speaker. Honourable Minister, I mean, the same project was from Banyu to Nyabakunda, and the road is not completed. Whether there is any possibility to complete.
Point of order. It's a point of order, sir. He's out of the.
Another one, but he's not around. Sami would have asked a similar question. But
I want to inform you.
Very much, honorable members. Question number 58 of 2021 by the honorable member for Sandu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Agriculture explain to this August Assembly if there are plans to establish a cold storage facility for the farmers in Sandu?
Honorable Speaker, I am honored to inform this August Assembly that there are plans through some of our projects to establish cold storage facilities for our farmers in the Gambia, but the sites are yet to be identified.
All right, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Minister, would the Minister consider establishing a market for the farmers in Sandu if land is available?
I thought the question touched on, was on cold storage facilities. Let's not take a chance. Not have a second bite, but related to the question. Otherwise, let's allow others. Thank you very much. Latikunda Sabiji, thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, though the Minister make it clear that the sites are not yet selected, but I hope this time around Greater Banjul area will not be left out because we are the end user.
In fact, the project who's supposed to establish these cold storage facilities is the root project. It's establishing 15 cold storage facilities. But I want to tell you that we're looking for strategic locations where many farmers can have access to those cold storage.
Thank you. Yes, I have seen many tags on, but I have to use my discretion. I'm going to allow Foni Bondali because she missed out the Foni Bondali.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have withdrawn my question.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I want to ask the Honourable Minister, hence she has done an assessment, would she give priority to areas that are heavily intervened in the NEMA project, places like Kantora, the Woolies and Co.
I think it's a good question. But I think it's fair enough to place these cold storage facilities in a strategic location, whereby if it is established in one of the community gardens, it might be a white elephant because they cannot continue to fill that cold storage. But with strategic location, a lot of farmers can benefit.
Yes, thank you very much. Foni Brevet.
Honorable Speaker, perhaps I need to withdraw my supplicants because my question would have been that of the criteria for the site identification. I think the Honorable Minister did adequately answer that.
Mana, no, we'll come to you. Yomi, we have it now.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. In terms of location, Tumana constituency is very strategic, and looking at the amount of horticultural gardeners in the constituents, because rest assured, we
remember. In fact, at the end of the session, I had in mind to remind honorable members of the time allocated for supplementary. I think we've been very generous. It's 2 minutes or 1 minute and 2 minutes, but we've been very generous because I know the questions are very important. But it is also equally important for honorable members to be precise. You know, usually the preamble is too long. It's too long. Just go direct to the questions. Huh? Thank you.
Yes, thank you for that. I just wanted to build a foundation, that's why. Yes, like looking at the location of Tumana is very strategic. And looking at the amount of horticultural gardeners in Tumana constituents, would you consider?
Thank you very much. I know Tumana is not far from Basse, and most of the farmers around Tumana, they do come to Basse to sell their produce. I want to assure you that Basse will benefit from the cold storage facility because it's a central location.
Thank you. Cantora. No, no,
Speaker, he asked already.
It's at the discretion of the Speaker.
No.
If the Speaker wishes,
sit down.
He can give me again.
Sit down.
The Speaker is at your discretion.
No, I have withdrawn the opportunity. Please, you already had it. Busumbala. Okay, then Opanyomi.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Honorable Minister, there is already an established cold storage facility in Opanyomi. So would you consider in bringing it back to life? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't promise, but we will try. But I know Bara is central. It will have a cold storage, and also Farafenye. Thank you.
You've then that brings us to the end of the supplementary question on this question. Question number 59 of 2021 by the, please order one meeting by the Honorable Member for Nyamina East. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the road project linking Nyamina Kudang to Bani is still incomplete. Can the Honorable Minister for Agriculture inform this August Assembly what is delaying the completion of the said project?
Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, I am honored to inform this August Assembly that the access road in question is built by the funded African Development Bank P2RS project under my ministry. The access has a total length of 18 kilometers, though when completed, would not only facilitate access to the rice fields by mainly women, but also enhance the evacuation of farm produce to the houses and most importantly, improve market access between the two communities. Yes, it is not completed, but the National Road Authority has completed an assessment of the remaining civil works and henceforth made recommendations for the said contract to be repossessed and subcontracted to another contractor with the view to complete the unfinished work. Madam Speaker, as we speak, I am delighted to inform this Honorable House that the African Development Bank funding this activity under the P2RS project has accepted the recommendation of the National Road Authority. Since then, procurement process to subcontract this unfinished work to another reputable contractor to complete the Kudang-Yida access route is at advanced stage.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, could you please enlighten me whether or not the delay of this contract was basically on the side of the contractor or was basically fund problem?
Thank you very much. I want to tell this August gathering that as a minister, I inherited this contract, and I'm doing my utmost best to see to it that this road construction is completed. Yeah, it could be both contract and funding, but I want to assure you that it will be completed.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, I have been, of course, receiving such stories that the road will be completed from all investigations that I made. So how soon do you think the commencement of the work will kickstart?
I want to assure you that before this coming rainy season, it will be completed. I will never compromise with these contract works.
Thank you. Yes, Inyani.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, this road, I use it very well. So it's part of my in-laws. So I think it's more essential for you to start this as soon as possible. If not, but before the rain, nobody can use this road. I've just came from there just yesterday. So please try to make sure that it has been finished.
I promise it will be completed. Yes.
Any more supplementary questions on this? No? Okay then. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister for Agriculture, for the questions, the answers given to the honorable members. And I equally thank the honorable members for their cooperation. Honorable members will, yes, please, thank you very much, your release. We'll recall that at the commencement, we did not have a quorum, or due to some administrative hitches, we could not deal with the votes. And I believe it has been confirmed by the table office that it has already been circulated almost more than 2 hours ago. So make his statement to the Assembly. However, I wish to draw the attention of honorable members to clause 51(8) of the standing orders that the time allocated for matters of the day shall not exceed 3 minutes for honorable members who may wish to make statements, and the time allowed for the matters is 30 minutes. I would therefore urge honorable members to observe clause 51(9) of the standing orders for guidance and call on the honorable member to make his statement to the Assembly. Honorable member for, is it Kiang Central? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, please allow me to express my deepest concern on the exorbitant increase of prices of basic commodities such as rice, sugar, cooking oil, as well as building or construction materials like cement in our markets. I must say that this is unjustifiable and therefore unacceptable. Honorable Speaker, please allow me to probe the question. What is the government doing about all this? I mean, what visible steps have they taken to curb this practice by a selfish few? There is a serious outcry from the poor majority of the population, and the government seems to be very insensitive and unconcerned about their plight. I want to remind myself and indeed my colleagues in the House that improving the living standard of all citizens and non-citizens resident in the Gambia and creating a favorable environment for private sector to drive is one of reform policies of the government's 2021 budget that we approve. Thus, the government must desist from any attempt to drag this effort. Honorable Speaker, it is evident that certain businessmen in the country are involved in the act of hoarding basic essentials. This is, of course, illegal, and the government, which is the implementing and enforcing body of the laws against these callous malpractices, must do all efforts to take stand against such and bring back perpetrators of the practice. As far as I am concerned, the 2021 budget does not reflect any tax increment of the said basic commodities, and that could have attributed to the current price hike as it is our market across the country. Honorable Speaker, I will therefore suggest that without delay, the Ministry of Trade, Employment and Regional Integration must take practical steps to engage the business community and the relevant stakeholders in the business sector with a view to identifying the factors responsible for this unapologetic price increase that is causing so much economic burden on the citizenry, especially during such time that Ramadan is fast approaching, and find lasting and sustainable solution to it. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. May I now invite contributions from honorable members, but remember, yes, let me finish my statement. Thank you. May I now invite honorable members who wish to make a statement to do so now. You may raise your tags, but only to remind honorable members that the time allocated is 3 minutes and the total time is 30 minutes. So I'll start recording. Yes, honorable member for nominated member.
Thank you.
Try to be very fair. No, thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor to associate myself with the mover of the statement. Honorable Speaker, I do strongly support this statement. I do strongly support this statement. It is very clear, and this is a concern to all citizens, and even the non-citizens. I think it is high time the Minister of Trade to take the bull by the horn, to show its ministry's efficiency, so that the citizens, the burden that are on the citizens can be, solved. Madam Speaker, you cannot just understand it as a bag of cement from a factory of $260 to $450, Honorable Speaker. It is not helping. None but the citizens themselves rocketing the price without no justification. It is high time the Ministry of Trade, in fact, these things should have not come to, before it comes to the National Assembly. The Minister of Trade, Madam Speaker, should have done something about this. And not only the cement, Honorable Speaker. People are getting tired. This is a concern of all of us, but particularly the responsibility given to the Minister of Trade. They should not be sitting up to by this time when people are suffering. And now again we are facing, according to the statement too, understand, we are facing the Ramadan. Where are we going to be? Where are we going to be? People must take the responsibility of their duties that is assigned to them. Madam Speaker, definitely without saying much, I support this thing, and it is the time now the government should do something about it. Gambians are suffering seriously. If I don't say it, I'll be lying, because I know how people are suffering. Price rocketing from $260 from the no justification to $450. Where? Not for only the Gambian people. Definitely the government should do something immediately. Immediately the ministry the government should do something about this immediately.
Thank you. Your time is up. Thank you. Thank you. Birkama North.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. National Assembly has taken the giant move yesterday to allow the Trade Committee to meet during the session to invite the Ministry of Trade and engage them on this matter. Today, Honorable Member for Chiang Central added the concern of the National Assembly with regard to this situation. I think this will now address the position of the people. What is the National Assembly doing about this? As you are concerned, we are so concerned and serious about it, as the nominated member Samusa indicated. We thank you, Honorable Member for Chiang Central. Madam Speaker, the price for basic commodities exorbitantly increasing is a cause of concern. With the government, I am so quite aware, as a matter of urgency and seriousness, should come in and address the issue. One cannot understand within this short period of time, increase of the price of cement 65%, from 270 to about 425. That's almost about 65% increment. We cannot understand that, and that is unacceptable. One will believe that what the honorable member indicated, that's an act of hoarding in these basic essentials, commodities. For example, for the case of the cement, the major producer, that is the jar oil, if not producing and others they have, because of that, exorbitantly they increase the prices. I think that's an act of hoarding as he indicated. Madam Speaker, the business community need to do justice. Yes, I also concur with the mover that there is no increment in the tax. Why then would we have such an increment of the prices of the basic commodities? It's a cause of concern.
Thank you very much. Woolly East, 3 minutes from now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, there must be a way of controlling prices of basic commodities. We cannot continue to see this skyrocketing of prices every day. The ordinary people, their livelihoods are actually at stake. Honorable Speaker, rice, cooking oil, all these basic commodities are rising. The other day I went to a shop where I used to buy a particular brand of rice at 1,300. When I went there, it was 1,700. And no amount of bargaining could bring that price down. What is the reason? They could not explain. But then I believe there must be a way. All other commodities are also in the increase, and I believe government is not doing enough. This government is not doing enough to ensure that prices are stabilized. And I also believe that maybe we have to go into another strategy, that is the business people. How Gambia makes business with the currencies that we are using, mainly the dollar, which is always appreciating against the dalasi. If we can divert to other currencies that are a bit stable with the Gambian dalasi would help us. So I would urge this government and this National Assembly to work together to ensure that these prices are actually stabilized, because the whole country is now blaming even this National Assembly for this skyrocketing. It's not only the government. This National Assembly is being blamed for the skyrocketing. So the Committee for Trade should work very hard to ensure that the minister comes to answer some of these questions so that things are stabilized. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Honorable Member for Talinding, did I see your tag? Yes.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I think I am in line with the Honorable Member of Woolly East, and I'm also in support of this matter of the day, and I commend the Honorable Member for Kiang Central to bring this to the attention of the National Assembly. Madam Speaker, the last time when the Honorable Member was laying such issue like this about the Sanyang incident, I counter it and I say it's a collective responsibility. We cannot put the blame on the government. But this time we are going to point finger at the government. The country will run into food scarcity if the government didn't do anything. This has become a norm. Every Ramadan, when the Ramadan is approaching, businessmen and women will be increasing the prices of basic commodity, and the government is mute about it. I think it's high time for we as National Assembly members, as elected representatives, to take our stand. Let the government come with a policy to put a price control mechanism. Even our own homegrown foods are being increased daily basis. If you look at the price of a native tool, it increased from $50 to $100. We cannot afford to be seen and our market prices to be increasing daily. Let the government come out and do something, and the trade minister as well. They have a very important role to play. They are not communicating to the people and the price keeps increasing. Thank you very much.
Larry Kunda Sabiji, 3 minutes please.
All right. Thank you very much, my honorable member for Kiang. Is it Kiang? Kiang Central. Well, Madam Speaker, I think as other speakers said before me, let me also use this opportunity to thank the Trade Committee for coming up with that giant step that they did yesterday, to invite the Minister of Trade to come before them and explain what is going wrong about this high price that we are experiencing in the country. Honorable Speaker, what people say here is true. I think if we are to blame, we got to blame the government of the day for what is happening. That is the truth. We haven't seen any measurement from them. You cannot just be increasing price of commodities. Today you go and buy something $5, tomorrow you go, they say it's $25. What is going on? And then this is also a high time for this parliament to take their stand. We want to know, it's not just a matter of someone in the minister to explain X, Y, and Z, but we want the committee to act. It is a high time we start taking things in that narrative. Not every time, we just have to send a report to the parliament, we read the report, debate on the report, but we definitely need to act this time around. I said Ramadan is just at the corner. But not just only the Ramadan. Let's think about the price of the cement. From $265 to $400 something. How is that possible? The bag of rice, how is it possible? This guy talking about the native tool, the local native tool that you go to the market that you can buy for $10 now, from $10 to $50. How is that possible? Well, we have to blame the government and also blame this National Assembly. Yes, we have to, because I don't think that we are doing what we are supposed to. Let us act. It is high time for us to act. It's not just a matter of someone in the minister and the minister will come and tell you a good story and you allow him to go. No. We have to take our stand as the National Assembly. Yeah, not only the committee. The committee always lay their report in the disciplinary here. All what we do is just we debate on it. That's all. So please, Honorable Member for Kiang, thank you very much for coming up with this.
Thank you, Fonyi Jarol.
Yeah, thank you very much. In fact, for me, I don't think I will take that much time to respond to the statement. In fact, the only thing is let's not confuse ourselves. I mean, we are people representatives. When we came at the beginning, we were blaming the former government of controlling the price controls. And now you said democracy, people are free. They will not look around and say somebody's behind me. Now why that? The same people coming again to say government, let government come into people's own affairs. Come on, man, take your time. Thank you.
Kantora, I'm deliberately...
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Kantora, please, Kantora.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, allow me to also thank the mover of the motion for bringing matters of the day to Parliament. It demonstrates concern in this.
The Gambia's first non-profit online public broadcasting network and home of culture and entertainment. At GTP, we bring you the best of Gambian creativity right to your doorsteps. Sell your products and services to millions of Gambians and friends of the Gambia via our online radio, TV, and newspaper. At Advertise your business and watch your clientele grow like never before. Our content from the Gambia gets the diaspora hooked up to our screen, whilst those in Gambia love what we bring for them from afar. This gives us a unique edge and separates us from the rest. If you want to be heard or seen by the world, contact GCP. We tap, nurture, and promote Gambian talents and businesses. Think promotion, think GCP. For all your event coverages, religious gathering, naming ceremonies, weddings, documentaries, music videos, TV and radio commercial, and more. We also do design and print jobs of all types, logos, business cards, brochures, flyers, t-shirts, coffee mugs, banners, billboards, catalogs, and magazines. We also do lamination and projector rentals. We are the first Gambian non-profit online public broadcasting network with over 300,000 active followers across all social media. Contact GTP on 750-3654, 750-3654 or 794-9214, 794-9214, 404-593-6215 or email us at gambiantalents@gmail.com. GCP, the people's power.
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonics Money Transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
fu muy fanaan ak kuy wut ku ko wétali xanaa delloo buntu gi warul na boole Yaa Fatus Guest House tijjil na leen buntu bi ñu leen fa am ak ñaari cabinet salle yu yaña
amal leen li nga xamantene mooy cabinet ak salle ñu ngi leen amal AC ak fan
salle bi nag lépp li ngeen soxla am na fa sofa yu nooy ñoo fa nekk TV bang fa cabinet boo dugga lal yu nooy leen fa amal nañ leen fa AC ak li nga xam ne moom mooy fan toilet yu set wicc amal nañ leen fa kitchen microwave fridge and room bu baax dama ne teranga day mut motaxit Yaa Fatus Guest House amal leen extra kitchen lépp lu ngeen bëgg togg mun ngeen ko toggee ci gas cooker bi ni
kuy xalam di ci jaayu nak barke bi yaay borom amal ne li nga xamantene mooy ndox ak courant 24/7 bu leen tiit bu leen ragal bu leen xof ndax amal ne li di CCTV camera
set si leen ñu ci Farafenni gannaaw garage ci basse bi Kawur highway
very clean every day amna cleaning service ratio bi amul fedd
Yaa Fatus Guest House teranga aduna bët kon nak set si leen ñu